Good afternoon. My name is Keith D. Miller, and I'm talking to you this afternoon from Republic, Missouri. And the reason for this is considered an open video to the Republican National Committee's leadership. In July, I attended a workshop for American Solutions with Newt Gingrich in Washington, D.C., and at that time I attempted to schedule a meeting with the chairman of the Republican National Committee to no avail. I've sent emails on numerous occasions prior to and after that to express my discontent with the way that the national leadership is going. I, like many Republicans who have been lifelong Republicans, donate to candidates individually but do not donate to the Republican Party at this time. I do not feel that that's a wise investment of my money, my funds, because they're not listening to the grassroots conservatives within the Republican Party. In fact, what I feel that they've abandoned the traditional values of the Republican Party, which is what I want to talk about. This is a time when the Republican leadership is handing this country over to the Democrats and those that are liberals that are in control of Congress and in control of the Senate and who want to control the White House. Under the current leadership of the Republican Party in 2008, we will lose miserably, in my opinion, on all levels, because we are not speaking to the party base. You cannot expect the Republican Party just to vote for Republican candidates because they're Republicans and because they're not Hillary Clinton, which seems to be the message that we hear on a regular basis from those that are running for president or those that are within the Republican Party or on a conservative talk show circuit. That is not the strategy that will win the White House. What we have to do is return to our traditional Republican values of conservative politics, limited government, control of the federal government in a way that they do not continually raise spending, expecting the taxpayers to pay for anything that they come across with. We have not done a good job of communicating the message on the national level. We have to go back to this base, which has been loyal to the conservative values. Right now we have Rudy Giuliani supposedly leading in polls across the country. When I talk to Republicans that I know, not one of them tells me that they support Rudy Giuliani. So I don't know who they're polling, but the polling numbers are off. What I believe is that if I were Hillary Clinton or the Democratic candidates, I would actually send money to Giuliani to boost his candidacy, because they know that a conservative right will walk from and not participate in the process if Rudy Giuliani is the nominee for the Republican presidential race. We cannot have someone who is not a Republican representing the party. He doesn't represent us on gun control. He doesn't represent us on marriage. He doesn't represent us on the abortion issue. He does not represent us on anything. His only claim to fame is that he was the mayor of New York City on 9/11. And although he did a great job of leading that city through that trial, that doesn't qualify him to be president of the United States. So, with that said, what I want to stress is that we have to get the Republican leadership in Washington to listen to the grassroots constituency throughout the United States. If that fails to occur, if they fail to change the leadership to someone who is genuinely a conservative, who genuinely wants to hear from people outside the Beltway, we will lose the election in 2008. We have to return to our core values. I think that probably the best thing that could happen would be for Newt Gingrich to become the chairman of the Republican National Committee. That probably won't happen, but he understands the issues and he understands where we're at with the issues and with the candidates that we're facing. He would be able to return the party to a message that is something that can be articulated by all candidates at all levels, which would resonate with the American people. That's what we need, is somebody of that caliber to go in front of the American people, on behalf of the Republican Party to push with the candidates to train them in what it is that we believe, to return us to those core values, to get them to understand how to talk to those core values and to their constituency. That's what has to happen. We must do this. I am appealing to the leadership of the Republican Party. You are throwing us down the tubes. You are losing traction. You are getting nowhere with the policies that you're promoting and with what you're doing. We have got to change that, and we have to change it now. It's nearly November of 2007. In 2008, in November, we will select a president and part of our Congress. We must make sure that those are the highest number of those people are Republicans who truly can articulate the core values of the party, who truly understand what being a conservative means, who truly understand what the average American wants and expects out of government, that truly understands that you can't tax and spend us till we can't breathe, that you have to control government, you have to control immigration, you have to secure the borders, you have to do something about the public attacks on voicing anything to do with God or Christ in the public square. You have to deal with families, the issue of marriage. We must address the issue of abortion. We must address the way that our tax system is done currently. With all of those things, they're so important that we can articulate the message that 80% or better of Americans support. That's what we need to do. We also need to make sure that our presidential candidates understand the War Powers Act when they're talking about whether they would go to war against Iran and whether they would consult Congress. Look at the act, find out that the Marines can be sent in by the president for a period of time without the approval of Congress, and then they have to either be pulled out or a declaration of war issued. That's the answer to the question. If our national interests are at stake and in jeopardy, the President of the United States as Commander-in-Chief has powers that he can exercise before going to Congress to take care of the situation immediately as needed. They need to understand that. Asking lawyers is not the right answer. Not knowing the right answer is not the right answer. And that's where we have problems. We are not working with these candidates. It's time that several of them went by the wayside. They are not going to get the nomination. They're wasting resources. They're wasting valuable time. And they're taking away from those that should be the nominee. This is a time where the Republican Party has an opportunity to turn around and turn back to their fundamental beliefs and their fundamental core values. I don't see that happening with the leadership. I don't think they listen to the constituency. I don't think that they have any idea of what most Republicans in this country truly believe and truly think. They have to tune in to what we're saying. The reason you're not raising money like you should is because you're not talking to us directly. You are not getting anywhere with us. The reason that the candidates, there's no clear-cut choice is because of the way that the Republican leadership is doing this. We must address these issues and address them immediately. Listen to your constituency. Listen to what the grassroots people in America have to say and start articulating the message. Again, it is not, I'm not Hillary Clinton. That will not win the presidency in 2008 for the Republican Party. I've looked at a lot of different things. I've toyed with other parties. I believe the Republican Party can be changed and returned its core value. If it does not, myself, like many other Republicans in this country, will turn away and we will stop supporting you. Please hear this plea and do something now. Talk to the constituency, talk to the grassroots people, ask some of us what we believe, and do something about it. Thank you, and God bless America.